Welcome, guys, to another episode of WSXM Podcast. Anyway, so let's get into this. Remember when America was sanctioning any country that works with Russia or take anything from Russia, and all the glow and especially specifically oil. Remember how they capped the oil at $60 per barrel because they don't want Russia to make any money on it. Any country that buys oil will be sanctioned as well. Anyway, just for a reminder, let's look at this video with President Biden.
We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine.
So there you see President Biden's was, oh yes, we have to stop Russia from getting money, so no more selling of the oil and blah blah blah. Remember, they blew up the Nord pipeline, which is a pipeline that runs to Germany, and they blame the Russian. Then we get to find out shortly after that the Americans are the ones who actually blew up the pipeline underground, the undersea, under the ocean. And remember how they was pressuring South Africa for doing the drill with Russia and China, and also pressuring other African countries, Uganda and these countries, just for getting grain from Russia. Remember the whole grain issue when they say, "Oh no, if you take grain, we're gonna sanction you," and blah blah blah. But listen to what the Americans, after all this, turn around and did. Let me put this up on the screen so we can read it. The EIA data also The EIA data also revealed that the US paid a premium for the Russian oil as one barrel cost $74 in October and $76 in November, well above the price of cap of $60 per barrel set by the US and its allies in 2022. The price cap was part of a coordinated effort by the US and the G7 countries, the EU, Switzerland, Australia, to reduce Russia's income from oil exports as a response to its annexation of Crimea. So, before we go any further, so remember all of that, the whole hoorah, the $60. Now to seeing that America is buying oil, the same oil that's still sanctioned. They are pressuring other countries to do. Let's see how much they paid for this oil. Let's go and put this up. Next page. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the U.S. import 36,800 barrels of Russian oil in October and 9,900 barrels in November, worth 2.7 million and 749,500 respectively. The imports were made possible by a specific license granted by the U.S. Department of the Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control, which oversees the enforcement of sanctions. So, we all see the hypocrisy here. America, who is still sanctioning Russia, still supplying arms and money to Ukraine, sanctioning South Africa for doing drills, war drills with Russia, and they sanction Uganda and other countries for accepting grains from Russia. And they also put a arrest warrant out for Putin for if he had attended South Africa, the summit in South Africa, the BRIC summit. Remember that whole shebang? Remember how they pressured Germany and Poland to stop immediately taking gas and oil from Russia? Remember that whole shebang? Now look at the way the USA did. And listen to how they phrase it. They grant a license to buy the oil. And they did not only buy the oil, they spend more than what they themselves kept it at, which was $60. They are paying $76 and $74 more. So they are paying more money for the oil that they themselves say cannot be sold for. So you see the hypocrisy and the reason why America is losing its footing in the world. These are the reasons. It's best to be an enemy of America than a friend. And whenever you are a friend, you're gonna feel the brunt of their selective outrage and their selective memory when it comes down to make sure America is getting what they're supposed to get. When it comes down to energy. So you can imagine this: you are fighting Russia in a proxy war. You are sanctioning everybody who deals with Russia. You pull McDonald's, Burger King, all American brands leave Russia. And the same country who is enforcing sanctions, the same committee that's enforcing these sanctions, turn around and granting license to the American government to buy oil from the said person they said they don't want to give money to. And this is just what we heard of and we know of. You can imagine the amount of money they are spending on Russian oil through backdoor deals, which they are doing, because Germany is doing it still, Poland. France just spent 1.3, I think 1.3, 1.4 billion buying enriched uranium from Russia, who they're not supposed to be dealing with. So all these major countries who were listening to America felt their economy crumbled in dismay. Now America gonna turn around, go behind the say country back with the pressure and do not buy the oil and buy the same thing they said that they should not be bought. The hypocrisy is no longer hypocrisy, it's just blatant. Do what I say, don't do what I do. That's just that what this turns out to be. That's it. And why I'm talking about this because they were pressuring Africa so much about getting oil or beans or grains from Russia. And they were sanctioning African countries if they even speak to Russia. But now they turn around. Even they still having heavily sanctioned Russia, buying from the same people they say no one can sell to or buy from. Biden, who start a war over this. And then start the next war in the Red Sea with the Houthis because he protecting Israel in the Gaza. So all this guy does since he's been in power is popping up wars all over the place. Now Guyana and Venezuela is about to go at it as well because what America involved in the finding of oil off the coast of Guyana, when Venezuela is saying its days, and then because of some bad faith deal, it's causing an eruption where they have troops at the border currently. Then you have East Africa having issues with Ethiopia and Somalia. And all this is because America have their fingers in these things in the background, manipulating and using others to do their bidding. But the African continent is rising up because you have countries who are not dealing with them. Uganda, for example, Museveni turned down the Americans from having a base in Uganda. Why? Because this was the deal. They are telling Museveni if our army base is in Uganda, our soldiers do any form of crime, if they unalive someone, if they grape someone, Uganda cannot arrest them or touch them. They have to be sent back to America to be charged. So you're gonna have no legal, can take no legal ramification when it comes down to American troops on the base in Uganda. So Museveni said, well, okay, if you want to do that, well, you cannot penalize or arrest any Ugandan in America and send them back home to get. America said, no, 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 we can't do that. That's not in the card. Well, they said, well, we cannot accept the base. So that's why it surprised me why we still have 27 bases on the African continent. 27 bases. So what are these presidents thinking to allow this on their continent where they can go around do whatever they want and cannot be charged or touched? But as I said, the continent has 54 countries and 27 bases of America's on it. So we still have a lot of countries that does not accept it, which is a good thing. It's more than half. So this is why the African continent is rising up because yeah, Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, Guinea, what's the other one that have the coup? It's not top of my head. But I'll go back to it. And you have the other puppets of the continent like the Nigerian president, the Senegalan president, in the Democratic Republic of Congo president that just got re-elected, and a few others. It's Africa is turning them on the younger generation is saying no more bullying and lecturing and manipulating our citizens and our country and our presidents. It's time to stand up, and if the presidents don't want to stand up, we're gonna take matters in our own hand, just like what they did in Ghana recently when the Ghanaian government stopped the Pan African Convention because what President Nana Akufo is now a puppet. He's a puppet of the West because he's working with them militarily as well, and he's against South Africa because he's sending troops to help America to do South Africa the exact treaty they signed recently, and for Chad, Burkina Faso as well, and other countries, and that's fine anyway. But let me know what you think about this. If you agree with what I'm saying, do you think I'm wrong? Am I right? If not, or if you agree or if you don't agree, just let me know in the comment section. You can have a conversation there, and I'll reply to every comment. So let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. You don't know. The W Assistant Podcast. Boom.